Live, so you guys are chatting here.
Okay.
Hi.
Somebody's got some music on in the background.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh.
That's why I'm in this room.
Okay, so let me double check and see if we're on here. And if that's the case, why didn't I get to pick that? So let's see, page. Oh, it's live. Okay, it is live on the Facebook here.
Ah, I see us.
Yes, too.
Hello. Hello out there, world.
Hello, everyone. What's up?
I'm doing a little sharing, staring at my screen, sharing. Let me just do this really fast. Trying to remember that one group that we were in, and I can't remember it. Okay, I couldn't find it. Do you remember that one out of California that we with Robin? I can't remember the group name. That's so sad. Anyway, here we are.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get started.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. This is our first live session in the quarterly series of Festival Flow and Lunar Life. So we are your hosts from the Heart Mind Center, and we are teachers at the Heart Mind Center. So my name is Johanna Navari Welch, and this is
Jalen McFerrin. Hello, everyone.
So in this series, over the course of the year, we're going to have 4 of these sessions, and we will share with you simple ways to weave various types of festivals and moon phase celebrations into your life. So we're going to have a conversation and talk about celebrations, festivals, and the moon phases.
Yeah. And I want to say thank you to Angela. Hey, welcome. Thanks for being here. Do you want to begin with some background on Michaelmas? I'm actually really curious because I'm not that familiar with it.
Yeah, so Michaelmas is a magical time, and I learned about Michaelmas through my Waldorf teacher training.
Nice.
And being in the Waldorf school, which has been really amazing experience for me. And the feast of Michaelmas was celebrated in the Middle Ages as an autumnal festival, and it's because it's close to the equinox of autumn, and so it marks the end of summer. And the summer is a beautiful time of this unwinding and this openness and this beautiful mood of very dreamy mood. But when you come into autumn, you're coming into the season change, this transformation, this very interesting time where the days are shorter and they're darker. And so Michaelmas is the archangel Michael, and he was an archangel, and he defeated Lucifer. That's the story. Um, and he's seen as a protector of the dark and the night. And he's this administrator of the cosmic intelligence. So
Nice.
it's a very magical time of, the Archangel Michael stands for strength and conquering fears. So it's a very wonderful time to go inward and really think about what we're struggling with and our fears and what needs to be transformed, which is a really um, uh, neat time to be inward and then also to see what needs to evolve for us.
Can you just say that one more time? What does Angel Michael stand for again?
He's the protector of strength and courage. So Michael is,
Protector.
yeah, his archetype is courage and strength. So
Awesome.
conquering fears, celebrating change, um, finding the strength and the courage within to really to overcome your fears, to overcome anything that you feel you need to transform in your life.
Perfect.
So
That goes really well
yeah,
with this time of year.
yep,
The dark
and
time's coming.
yep. And it's time to really look inward, right? So the dark time's coming. What's interesting in what's happening in our environment, in our elements, is we have much more cosmic showers happening during this time. And because of
Mm.
these cosmic showers and the meteors, the cosmic meteors, iron is actually coming down, like it actually streams down to Earth. And so
Oh,
it
that's
actually, through our breathing, it comes into our bodies. And so it really actually prepares us because, as we know, iron is, it fortifies us with strength, it fortifies our blood, gives us, warmth. So it's all these wonderful properties. So there's all this um, uh, there's all this energy that's happening. It all kind of comes into play with this time of year
that is
and this
so
season.
cool. I did
Yeah,
not know that.
so
Thank you for sharing. Oh,
it's pretty
wow.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I can just picture that the air has more nutrition to it right now. Or
hmm
maybe is it like it's a different nutrition for
I
now?
think it's a different. Yeah, I think it's a different. There's all. I mean, I think every season brings its own
Right.
elements. In the northern hemisphere, we have the seasons, which is so beautiful to have those anchors for festivals.
Hmm.
And what I find is that now living in Florida, it's not as you don't have those seasons change as often. And so for me, it's been a little more challenging. Like, oh, I'm looking for the fall colors and the fall leaves, and I think I do feel. Um, and there's sulfur in the air because of the water here,
Mm.
but it's a
Hmm.
little different than the iron.
Hmm.
So, but the
Hmm.
seasonal change and this weaving of the seasons is really where I feel like celebrations and festivals really come to life. And pulling that together with autumn and what happens in autumn is just, it's a really wonderful time to go
Yeah.
into some contemplations and meditations of self.
I feel like, especially when you're in an area where there aren't the falling of leaves and there
hmm
isn't the cold winds coming in, it's even more important to hold that space for the festival and the changing of seasons and the equinox. And yeah, I can see
Absolutely.
that. Whereas here in
Absolutely.
Wisconsin, as soon as the equinox hit, it was cold. Well, not like
It's
winter
wild.
cold, but like fall cold.
Yep.
That morning, it was hot the night before, hot the day before, and next day, 60. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, fall's here right on time. Good
Yep.
job.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm still wearing a tank top. I mean, it
Yeah.
was, the weather broke one day here and then it just got really humid again. So that's been a little bit of a shift for me figuring that out,
Hmm.
especially, in the Waldorf traditions and lifestyle that we've loved, my whole life raising my children. Um, that was anchored us the seasons. We have this
Hmm.
and we have the school season. So we start school in the fall, and then you go into the winter, and then you have the deep dark nights of winter, and then you come into the spring, the rebirth, and then you have this again unwinding. You get out of school and you have this unwinding, and this really big, time to just really be in this dreamy mood. But when you're here and when the fall happens again, you're kind of coming in, and that's been a very different mood here in the southern states. And so
Yeah.
just finding that, as when I mentioned the festivals to my children who are now 16 and 12, it's a different mood, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's the festival. Okay, let's get into that mood." So it kind of it's kind
Yeah.
of neat though, because it kind of busts us back into, oh, okay, it's Michaelmas. We want to do. Let's bake some apple cake. Let's
Nice.
write our fears on a piece of paper and burn them.
Oh.
Things like this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so depending on the age of the children, we can find simple ways to celebrate these holidays and or these festivals and celebrations, and that's really quite fantastic. And it has happened, especially this year when I've mentioned it to my daughter, and she says, "Oh yeah, Mom, let's do this," and it's like, "Oh yeah, let's do that. That's what we do for that festival."
Yeah.
Even though we're not feeling necessarily in the seasonal change, like you said, it comes out in a way of just the actions and the deeds.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were
So
there for were we there for the solstice last winter? And we made like all the paper
oh
stars, and we were
yeah,
having
that's
a
right.
good
That's
time
right. Yeah, that's right.
decorating the
Yep,
tree. That was
absolutely.
so
Yep.
sweet.
Yeah.
It's all warm outside. Like, ah, this
Yeah.
is awesome.
We used a little. Was it a lavender plant? Oh no, rosemary. It was a
Oh
rosemary plant.
yeah.
A
Yep.
rosemary plant that was shaped like a Christmas tree. Yeah.
Uh-huh. That was a good
So
time.
so
Yeah.
finding all those ways to celebrate, and it can be very simple ways.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing some reading, preparing, and um, the table is a living symbol of gathering and community, an actual
Mm-hmm.
table. And
Mm-hmm.
so when we just use it as a simple means to just put a couple of decorations of the festival, and just to have that place
Mm.
as a way to just come together in community and to gather in celebration. Because whatever you do to celebrate a festival, it needs to speak to you. It needs to be
Mm-hmm.
something that resonates with you and your family. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's what's so special about creating your own celebrations and your own festivals, that it could be this Michaelmas time. It's a time. It's actually a day. It's September 29th is St. Michaelmas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, However, is Michaelmas. However, it's a season for me. For me, it's a season. It's starting and with the equinox, and it just kind of travels into when right before in November, when we then go into Martinmas, which is the season of light, and then
Nice.
which is fun. So it's another whole session.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
So it's always on the 29th, or is there a particular?
it's always on the 29th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the 29th is the day that, I mean, it's a Christian holiday that
Okay.
has been, I was raised Catholic, and we never really celebrated as such. So I mean, but it's on the September 29th is the day that it's actually observed. And then
Okay.
and typically in a Waldorf school we'll observe it. We'll have the season, so we'll have a festival on that day, but then
Mm-hmm.
leading up to it, we have, circles and stories, and we do different service projects that lead up to this, the season of Michaelmas. Are you laughing because of that?
Yeah,
All of our screens, our different
we're
screens,
having fun. Woo,
having fun with the screens.
woo, woo, woo. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah, so
writing
it's
some
fun.
good notes here, and I'm
Yeah.
curious what you have to say about fear and writing those down, and any wisdom to share.
Yeah, I would say, there's so much. I mean, fear is, we have two. I mean, I look at emotions. We have two emotions. We have love and fear, and everything. Any other category of every other emotion falls within those two categories. And I think fear can come up as many things. It can come up as anxiety. It can come up as um, uh, what else? It can come up as a task that is undone, like an undone task can be a fear. And
Mm.
so just writing down things that are, and some things you want to accomplish, even something that you want to accomplish could be fearful, or could require strength and courage. And so whether it's running the extra mile, or, doing something, um, from a physical standpoint, write those things down, think about them, see how you can work with them. I mean, for children, it's easy for them to come up with, I'll eat less sugar, or I'll do this, or I'll do that, or something like this. But or just, oh, I want to talk to that friend, or there's somebody I want to talk to, or there's something I want to do. Um,
Okay.
and so those kinds of things are really good to, and it's good to talk about them when they get to the age that you can talk to them about. And the younger kids, it's more of an autumn. We bring in more of the autumn festival, and we share stories of of autumn and of others' strength and courage. Of Saint Michael and the dragon. The dragon represents the your fears and
Oh,
your
okay.
worries, and so conquering that dragon with with the sword which is made of iron. So it's
Nice.
so it all sort of comes full circle. So I asked my daughter, I said, well, what do you want? Yes, the Michaelmas is coming. It's like we have this celebration, and so we're buying apples and doing some apple things, making some recipes and gathering in that way, or having community in that way. And then she said, let's write down, let's get those popsicle sticks and write down, what our fears are, and then we'll burn them. And I said, okay, that's a great idea. And so we used to
That's
do
so
it to Waldorf
sweet.
School. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then honoring nature is always something that's been big for me and for our family. And so just having that time to recognize what is happening outside, and the little children love gathering things from outside, and so bringing some of that nature into the home. Um, and so I think as for adults to young children, the adults can do the inner work. They can do the work, and when they do the work, the children just they have that energy. They feel that in a very soulful, unspeakable way. And so as we get older and the kids get older, they can start bringing them into other things, and more of a conversation, and more of a, okay, well, what's happening with you, and how do you want to, what is that you're struggling with? And fears can be struggles, right? Struggling with, a person or something that they want to do.
Yeah. That's so sweet. I'm
Yeah.
so glad we're doing this.
Mhm.
I learned so much already. That's so awesome. I love the energy
Oh,
that you bring to it. It's so nurturing, and what a great perspective. The little children, they go out and gather, and we're doing the work and holding the space for them, and
mhm.
and then they grow up and they say, "Hey, let's write our fears on a popsicle stick and
Yep,
burn it." And it's like,
absolutely.
you did good. Good job,
Yeah.
Mama.
Right. Yeah, which is, yep, it's really, it's wonderful. And I do think that it definitely brings the family into into wholeness, into a way to be to celebrate in a different way than a birthday, or a traditional holiday that we may have over time. Um, so, but I do have a verse I'd love to share. It's actually a
Okay.
song. I'm not going to sing it, but Jay and I will have it the next time. We'll prepare a song for y'all. But I'm just gonna bring it over here. Okay. In autumn, St. Michael, with sword and with shield, passes over meadow and orchard and field. He's on the path to battle against darkness and strife. He is the heavenly warrior, protector of life. The harvest let us gather with Michael's aid. The light he sheddeth fails not, nor does it fade. And when the corn is cut and the meadows are bare, we'll don St. Michael's armor, and onward we'll fare. We are St. Michael's warriors with strong heart and mind. We forge our way through darkness, St. Michael to find. And there he stands in glory. St. Michael, we pray, lead us into battle and show us thy way.
Beautiful. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Okay, so you want to hear some Libra moon stuff?
Yes, I'd love to hear how the Libra moon and the moon phase
Yeah.
ties into all of it.
And today is the new moon.
Yay!
Wasn't that
Yep,
neat?
it's
I
beautiful.
I definitely felt it. Um,
Hmm.
just this hope. I woke up with
Yep.
this, I can do this. It's going to be okay. We had such a fun weekend. We played music in Madison yesterday,
Awesome.
twice. And then we came home and went to a local festival today and played this morning. And then came
Awesome.
back to do this. And it's
Lovely.
just like, wow, I can do this. It's gonna be okay. Just
Yeah.
flowing, just flowing. And I'm a Libra, And this is a Libra new moon, and so I can share what it's like to be a Libra and what the new moon, how the new moon plays into that. The new moon for me and for many is, like you were saying with Michaelmas, it's the marking of a season. So the new moon is the marking of a 28-day cycle. So the prayers, the intentions, the meditations that you do on this day will guide the next 28 days. And Libra season begins on the equinox. It's the time where the darkness starts to become dominant. And we feel that. I feel a lot of us feel that darkness, and we're like, what's wrong? What am I feeling? And some people are like, I love fall, and they're really just into it, you know?
Yeah.
But as a Libra, I've never liked fall, and it's not until learning astrology that I understand why, and I'm able to embrace fall a little bit, like for what it is, you know. It's okay, it's the dark time, that's what's going on. I'm leery of the dark time, and I'm feeling that dark time coming, and that's been my aversion, and I didn't even know it, you know. I was in the cycle, and it's like, I'm supposed to be celebrating, it's my birthday, and why can't I get into this? And
And the Libra is the scales, right? The scales of the harmony. So you have this. So you have that. This is happening and that's happening, and where are you at? And I feel the same way about fall. Like fall is I'm a Scorpio, so I'm actually the next 28 days. And I definitely have that. I love autumn. I love it. And we've been here we've been in Florida now. This is our second fall season, and it's that crispness and coldness. That's sort of that's really that strengthens me. I mean, I like that, you know. So that's
cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you have to tell us more about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Libra is that time where the scales tip, and for one day it's perfect, right? The equinox, the day and the light and the dark, the day and the night are balanced and in perfect unison, or perfect weight balance, and then it tips to the dark side. And for the next 3 seasons, the Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, we're grappling with that darkness growing. And so Libra is called a cardinal sign, and that means the one that initiates, the sign that initiates change or a pivot. You know, you might feel like, oh, it's time to start a business, or I think I'm gonna move, or I'm ready to meet someone, or it could be an initiation of whatever subject. And whereas I won't go too deep, but Scorpio is when you settle into it, like, okay, this is the new season and we're here now. And so the Scorpio vibe is more like, okay, we're settled, whereas the Libra is like, okay, where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do? Let's do something, you know. And so, and then the Sagittarius is like, I feel the light is going to come, I feel the light is going to come, you know. And they're like on this whole nother trajectory. So every 3 seasons is like that. There's the initiator, the stabilizer, and the one that feels the next season on its way. So here in Libra, we're feeling the darkness. Are we ready? Another way that I've heard this said is the harvest is in. Virgo's the harvest season. And then Libra is, how do you sell your wares? How do you get back the energy you put into it? You know, do you go to the farmer's market and do you sell it? Or, you know, did you spend your season making silver spoons and now you've got to sell them or trade them for food? Or, you know, how do you get back your efforts? So that's...
Yeah, I think it's interesting because it's very much... It's very much, there's a synergy between what happens with the Michaelmas time and what's happening with with the Libra new moon, and because
Mm-hmm.
really that you need the courage to go out and do those things, right? You've kind of worked in this
Exactly.
dreamy world of creating, maybe, throughout the
Yeah.
summertime, and and sewing, and
Mm-hmm.
doing the creation, and then you now have to have that, that courage and strength to bring it out there and
Absolutely.
to bring it in there.
And the facing your fears of going
Right.
into the dark time,
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
it very much intertwines and is supportive of each other,
Yeah. And
which
that
is
was so
why I
neat when
love
you,
this stuff.
yeah, this is so neat because when you said when we were doing the contemplations, you can talk about the contemplations in a minute that we offer as an ebook,
Mm-hmm.
to our supporters. But I was like, oh wow, like they're very synergistic. They actually, there's a lot that I brought up before I even knew what you were going to, come
Mm-hmm.
up with for your contemplations,
Mm-hmm.
the moon phase, and they really worked well together as
Mm-hmm.
contemplations. So,
Absolutely.
and really looking
Absolutely.
at that, doing that inner work.
Mm-hmm.
So,
One thing that I like to say to people on new moons, and I'm known to gather friends for a new moon or gather
hmm.
sisters, and or like this thing that we've been doing in Madison once a month. It's been landing on new moons, so it's been fun to call
Right.
in the new moon energy and
Hmm.
guide a little meditation and make a wish list. You know,
Hmm.
that's what every new moon is about. It's like you have some seeds in your hand, and what are they gonna grow? Where are you gonna plant them? How are you gonna take care of them? Do they need fertilizer, water?
Hmm.
Some things like sand, and some things like clay, and it's like looking at all of these things. So how do we translate that? We get out our journal and write
Hmm.
down all of our dreams. And the interesting thing is if you're really dreamy like me, then you have
Yeah.
this really long list, like,
Yeah.
a page or two full of things that you wish. And then in 28 days, before the next new moon, you go back and
Hmm.
look at that wish list and notice where are the themes, and you circle those themes. Like,
Oh,
okay, this
okay.
one moved forward a little bit, and this one moved forward a
Hmm.
little bit. This one happened, or, just really
Right.
assessing that list, but not worrying about it the whole time,
Right.
but then coming back to it at the end and being like, okay, all of
Right.
these were way out on left field.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So
Right.
I just love the new moon. So that's one of the things I wanted to offer to um, anyone out there who watches this now or watches the replay, to get out your journal and just brain dump. Just
Hmm.
get it out there. What is it that you want? And don't worry about how weird or out impossible. There's no way
Hmm.
that could happen, and maybe it won't. But it's like this way of being able to follow your own desires, and then see
Hmm.
the themes that come out, and of course, when we look at our astrology charts, we could even guess which ones will come true, because we can see how it's laid out on our chart, and each house has meaning for us in
Hmm.
our life. And so where is Libra for you in your chart? And then you can kind of take it from there. But why limit yourself when you're doing a brain dump wish list? Like,
Oh, sure.
you know.
Absolutely. I started doing these daily downloads, and I learned about it a while ago, but I've really started doing it. And it's just whatever comes to mind first thing in the morning, you just write it down. And no matter how, but I've seen patterns. I've seen patterns
Mm-hmm.
of thought and patterns of what is jumping out, to me every time that I'm like, oh, I must be really focused on this because this is what I keep writing about over and over again.
Yeah.
But I do like this idea of just writing everything that, like, your desires, and because when you're writing things down and you have a pen to paper, um, it's just so, there's so much energy there, and there's so much,
Mm-hmm.
that comes from that. And I think the creativity and, the universe is so much more open to when we're putting pen to paper and we're writing things in that way.
Mm-hmm.
than
Absolutely.
typing always on the computer.
Oh yeah,
So,
I love getting I've got my
yep.
notebook right here, taking
Hmm.
notes on what
Yep.
Michaelmas is about. I think it's cool that
Absolutely.
we're like, okay, we set a date. We're like, okay, let's do this. We didn't really go, get nitty gritty on it,
Hmm.
and so it gets to be spontaneous and really
Yep.
we get to feel
Super
each
fun.
other's side in like a
Yep.
fresh way,
Yep.
It's really great.
Absolutely. And then
Yeah.
and learning from you too. I was just like, wow, that's so cool. Yeah, that's super. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
totally.
very neat.
Totally. So, should I lead a little meditation right now?
Yeah,
You think that's a good
absolutely.
time?
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
do meditation.
let's do it. All right, so just a little preview for anyone who wants to know. I do these twice a week on Insight Timer. And when it lands on a new moon, we do a new moon one. And when it lands on a full moon, we do it on a full moon. And when there's nothing going on, we just do it anyway.
I love it.
So let's just feel the sound a little bit. This is our first time doing this for anyone who is hanging out with us right now. Thank you for being here for our initial journey. And just getting into your breath. If you'd like, you can sit up nice and tall. If you prefer, lean back in your recliner, lay back on a yoga mat, whatever feels best to you right now. And just taking some deep breaths. Breathing fully into your low back, expanding that breath up your spine. As you exhale, just release the breath. And as you hear the chime, just allowing the chime to hold a container of divine and sacred space around you. If you're driving, keep your eyes on the road. You can still breathe deep though. And sensing your wish list, whether written or just in your mind. And just allowing the most important pieces to bubble up in your mind and your consciousness. You can ask your guides for help on what's the most important. You can call on Angel Michael for strength and courage, and clarity. And as you're breathing deeply, just hold that rhythm of deep breath into your low back, fully expanding your inhale and releasing your exhale. And trusting that whatever happens during this season, that it is for your highest good as you evolve through the karmic field around you. Just taking a few more deep breaths, just allowing, inviting a sense of presence, a sense of being with your mind, your heart, your soul, your higher self, the divine, and this earth. We'll do one more deep breath together. And requesting your guides, your team, your higher self to continue inspiring you through this day and into your dreams, providing you with synchronicities, signs and symbols, dreams. And if you'd like, if you have your journal nearby, take this moment to write down what it is that you'd like to work on manifesting this Libra cycle. And that was a short little experience, just a taster. My arm was tired holding it up.
Those were beautiful chimes. There was this, at one point there was this beautiful, it just kept the same flow back and forth. That was really beautiful.
Yeah, I love those Koshi chimes. Yes, you're welcome.
So beautiful. Yeah. I love that. So nice.
Yeah, so if you would like to hear more of that, we're on Insight Timer, Heart Mind Center, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, 8:30 Central, for 45 minutes to an hour of chatting. Monty does Mondays, and he teaches about breath work and mindfulness and psychology. And then I'm on Wednesday and Friday talking about astrology and meditation. And Johanna's going to go on there Sunday.
Yep, I'll be on sometime.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. All right.
Yeah.
There's our Monty.
Yep. Yay. That's our classes for next week. There's recordings on there as well. That Insight Timer is really fun place for people who like meditating. They've gamified it. Every time you do it, it goes on a day, and after you get so many, you get a star. And
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get back in there. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's so fun. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So do we have any questions coming in? And any?
I don't think so.
No? Questions or comments? You have to.
Yeah, I think this will be a replay as well. So if you're watching this and it's past Libra season, you can always look back. If you have a journal, look back to Libra season, September 22nd to October 21st-ish. I'm not sure exactly the day. It changes to Scorpio. But yeah, it's always a fun time to reflect. That's why astrology is so fun. You can look at different planets moving through your chart, and if you have a certain kind of transit happening, or it happened even years ago, you can look at it and look at your journal and see what you're going through. You know, so in a way, it's still fresh even when it's not fresh.
Yeah.
If that made sense.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, reflection on journals is always a wonderful
Mm-hmm.
way to grow and to look back and to see how far you've come and to see if there's things that you wanted to bring back or
Mm-hmm.
so I journaled the whole year that the first year I homeschooled my now 16-year-old, almost 17-year-old, and looking through what we did and all the celebrations are in there. And so it's really fun to look back and I've saved it. I can't, I can't get rid of it. It's a little, it's a journal full of just all of it, everything we did that year and all the celebrations. And so after Michaelmas, we fall into, I mentioned the Martinmas and the Lantern festivals. And so it's the season of light. So now it's
Mm-hmm.
becoming very dark and then we have the light happening. So it's going to be a wonderful, maybe we'll do a live then and talk about Martinmas and the
Mm-hmm. I'd
season of
love
light
to.
and Advent. It's very fun.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm so happy to that we've got our different things that we can bring
mhm,
together, and then we have our things that we love the same, the yoga
mhm,
and
absolutely.
yeah. So
And they do
I
beautifully mesh together, and they weave together, like these festivals weave together, and it's really quite awesome.
mm-hmm,
Very,
mm-hmm.
very magical.
Yeah.
Lots of magic.
Is there anything that you'd like to go through the ebook that we created?
I would say that the ebook it reads pretty, so it gives some contemplations, and then in the beginning of each section or of each question, it shows the reader of what to do, whether write down something or what to think about, and then taking those questions into their own meditation. And maybe they go back if someone's listening to this later, they can go back and listen to the meditation that Jay went through, and then ask themselves these questions during that meditation, or bring these questions into the
Mm-hmm.
meditation. Would be really nice. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's how I would utilize it, or just use it in your own meditations. I think they're really good questions for this time to really go inward and to see how you can transform and get unstuck if you need to, and really
Mm-hmm.
the striving for what's the future, the striving for what's
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely. And this is something that our crew here, I have to give a shout out to Jeremy
yeah,
behind the
Jeremy.
Heart Mind Center screen. He's a huge part of this. Monty
Hmm.
is around as well. And this is our little crew that has begun the Heart Mind Center. And we all have so much to offer and share. So every month we'll be coming up with an ebook that supports a theme around the season, and that will be available to our supporters and our tribe. We have created memberships because if you don't know yet, we have so much free content out there. It's amazing. We have a podcast once a month on Spotify, Pandora, all over the place. We have our YouTube channel that has been very fun, and making all kinds of posts, and you know what it's like if you're on trying to share something with the world, you gotta be everywhere. So
Hmm.
however you found us, that's awesome, and there's many ways to find us and many ways to enjoy our stuff. The heartmindcenter.org is a fun place where we are hoping to make it the hub of everything, where everything is. So the blogs, sometimes I'm not, I get behind, but I'm trying to write a blog for everything, and that's out there. So that's another way to find everything. And then so we created the memberships so that people can support our work. And we have the supporters who get the ebook. That's their special gift from us every month. And the tribe, who gets to be on a Zoom call with us and talk about the theme of the month and get to interact and get to hear each other's voices and see each other's faces, and get to make a tribe, actually, a virtual tribe. And I'm very excited about that. And yeah, do you have anything you'd like to add about what we're up to?
No, I think it's great. I want to just shout out to Jay and Monty for just having their brainchild, I should so to speak, of the Heart Mind Center, and all the work that they've put into it as well. And Monty has this ebook here, The Truth Continuum and the Subconscious Mind, which he just wrote this. This is just a recent writing of his, correct? Yeah. And so that's going to be really wonderful. I haven't dove into that yet, but I'm looking forward to reading that. So
it's really good too.
It's just having a community to come together to share in the mindfulness community. There's so much out there, and I would say that the more I get to know Monty and Jay, and Monty, I've known Jay for many years, but the more I get to know Monty, I'm like, wow, he's so fascinating. There's so much that he brings in this awareness of the subconscious, and what we can do to be in our mindfulness, and how we can center it and reflect on it, and share it with the world.
Yeah, and this is the Truth Continuum and the Subconscious Mind is a free gift for anyone who signs up for our community, which is the community receives our monthly newsletter. So it's really easy to get this book, and it is so good. And this is a theory that he came up with maybe a year ago. So this is very recent, and he started using it with his clients who have different mental diagnoses or addiction issues. And he uses this truth continuum with them, and many of them have improved greatly. And it's just this very simple, profound way of looking at metacognition. And you'll find out way more if you sign up for the newsletter and get his book. So, and I'm pretty sure that I've got it all set up. If it doesn't work, please get a hold of me. But you should be able to sign up for the newsletter. You'll get an email that has the link to the book, and then you can download it through your computer. If it doesn't work, let me know. I will definitely work on it as quickly as I can get to it.
Absolutely. And also to Jeremy, who's behind the scenes there at the Heart Mind Center over. He's scrolling through the website. He's an amazing. Oh, there he is. Hey,
there he is.
A fellow marketing guru and genius.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mindful technician.
That's a mindful technician. There you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling full. You feeling full?
Feeling full and feeling wonderful. And yeah, if there's any other, if anyone has any other comments, if you're watching this later and you have something to share with us or have something to ask us, please do so via Facebook, in our Facebook page, or you can email. It's hello@theheartmindcenter.org. Okay. And so we can get back to you and grow our community.
Yes, that is the goal. Because as we grow our community, we raise the vibration, and we join this higher vibration collective, which is everyone who's meditating right now. You know, it's happening all around the world. And we need, like you were talking about with Michaelmas, we need to acknowledge our fears. We need to sit with them and be strong and courageous and fight the dragon. And this is one way to do it, is joining in togetherness, joining in community. And I know that we are one of many ways of joining community, meditating together, and raising vibration. But I think we're pretty cool, I'd have to say. We have a good time.
It's a great time, absolutely. So join us. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And if you're watching this later, thank you for finding us. And I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Namaste.
Okay, namaste.
Aho. Satnam.
Read my little gong
Oh,
chime.
yeah. Sounds good.
Awesome. Okay.